You don't want to tell me whether Dawjal existed is my own paramount ruler. If he said Dawjal as what? Is it not on the presidency that I'm disputing? Is it not on the fact that it's the president that I say, well, he has not been there on the conditions provided by the Constitution, which I'm still disputing? I can't recognize him in an office that I believe don't exist. Get that is clear. So I don't follow the propaganda, the president, oh, he has done that. They are mixing the issue. Don't forget that I'm not the only one saying, until this thing is done, finally by the court, then we know where we are going. If even the court decides, we can still express an opinion. But I don't want to say, oh, he has been doing well, he's not doing well. I made him, it is true that God made him the governor of Lagos State. I know his ability. I'm not commenting on his ability now. That's not the stand of Afenifere. The stand of Afenifere is that we want a free, fair, and credible election. It is that free, fair, and credible election that we are questioning. And the law provides that if you are questioning it, don't be violent, go to the tribunal. It is that tribunal we are in now. We are waiting for their decision. And you want me to comment on the office? I say, does it not exist for him? Is he already doing well? Does that make him make me approve of the way he got there? Don't forget I'm a lawyer. I can't approbate and reprobate. I said the man doesn't exist. It's not, by the way he got there, it's not right. It's questionable. It's condemnable by all responsible people in the whole world. All the EU and everybody, whether they accept it or not, that is the stand Afenifere has taken.
Hello and welcome to the channel. Pa Adebanjo, leader of the Yoruba group Afenifere. Papa not just send. For Nigeria not just get president as we speak. Buhari carry the presidency comot. Meanwhile, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, president of Nigeria, is a product of two great institutional anomalies. One is a deeply flawed constitution designed to delegitimize the presidency of Nigeria. The other is a right state that manipulates state agencies to impose its will on the people. These anomalies deny Tinubu's presidency the strong mandate and legitimacy it badly needs to govern. Let's start with the constitutional anomalies. Under Section 134(2) of the 1999 Constitution, a candidate is deemed elected as president where there are more than two candidates if A. He has the highest number of votes cast at the election, and B. He has not less than 1/4 of the votes cast at the election in each of at least 2/3 of all the states in the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The concern is Section 134(2)(a), which requires the winning candidate to have the highest number of votes cast at the election. In other words, he doesn't need to have the majority of votes cast as required under Section 134(1)(a), where there are only two candidates. The perverse implication is that in a competitive election with more than two candidates, a candidate can be rejected by an overwhelming majority of voters and still become president. This poses a huge legitimacy problem, which many countries avoid by requiring a winning candidate to receive more than 50% of the total valid votes. Take two examples. In Brazil's 2022 presidential election, Lula da Silva won 48.43% of the votes in the first round, but that wasn't enough to make him president. He only became the winner after securing 50.90% in the second round. Similarly, in this year's Turkish presidential election, Recep Erdogan won 49.52% in the first round, but was only declared winner after scoring 52.18% in the second round. Democracy is based on one person, one vote, and True legitimacy comes when a winner has more votes, however small the margin, than all the other candidates combined. Sadly, not in Nigeria. According to INEC, Tinubu received 8.79 million votes out of 23.4 million total valid votes in this year's presidential election. Thus, the vast majority of voters, 14.6 million, rejected him. Put in a percentage term, he secured only 36.61% of the votes cast, meaning that a whopping 63.39% of the voters rejected him. By universal standards, that's a very weak mandate. Of course, Tinubu met the constitutional requirement. He scored, according to INEC, the highest number of lawful votes cast, but only a bizarre constitution allows someone rejected by 63.39% of voters to become president. In a presidential system where the president is the embodiment of a nation's sovereignty, it is hard to justify someone rejected by 63.39% of voters being president. If Nigeria had a more than 50% rule, this year's presidential election would have gone into a rerun, and a winner that reflected the will of the majority of Nigerians across ethnic and religious cleavages would have emerged. But thanks to Section 134(2)(a) of the Constitution, Nigeria has a president rejected by an overwhelming majority of voters. Yet, there is another constitutional anomaly. Under Section 239(1), the Constitution allows the Court of Appeal and, ultimately, the Supreme Court to determine whether someone was validly elected as president. However, it gives such a long period, 180 days, for a presidential election petition to be concluded, and allows, meanwhile, the person whose election is being challenged to be sworn in as president. In theory, the Supreme Court can remove a president that wasn't duly elected, but in practice, the apex court is extremely unlikely to remove a sitting president, however materially flawed his election. What's more, the majority of Nigeria's elite class, including the media and several foreign governments, regard Tinubu's presidency as irreversible, a fait accompli. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.